Okay, that was a long wait. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Wait, this is using the camera is the correct camera, and I actually expected it to not be the correct camera, which is good. I'm glad it's the correct camera, but I'm still confused about how Windows decides the order of cameras. Because I have two of the same camera, and it turns out because of the same model and manufacturer and everything, it's kind of really hard to tell them apart when you're doing software that uses cameras. It's kind of annoying. You sort of have to, you don't have a lot of choices other than to like maybe drop one. You just hope that it's in the right order, which is one option, or you try to drop really low level and figure out what USB port address it's connected to. It's a little annoying. Hi, I'm Scott. It's me. How are you? I am doing okay. I feel like I had a really productive day yesterday. I was busy all day, but I made like headway on things. And today I feel like I'm making headway on things. It's good. I got forward momentum. Even if like the things that I'm making headway on are not the most important things, it still counts. What? I've got some cable management issues here. Let's try to do this without destroying everything. Okay. Now can I move the microphone closer to my head? Yeah. Good. Okay. So, hi, it's me. We gotta like firm up our concept here. We've been doing some experiments. We've been talking about stuff. We've been making studies. We've been doing back end whatever. Like we've been doing lots of stuff. But and we started doing some, like the Pinterest board and stuff like that, like look development, things like that. But I think it is time to like just record everything. One, because I'm going to have a review tomorrow with the museum, so that would be good to have all of that ready. And two, because it's just time. It's just time for that. I mean, after this week, I've basically got 6 weeks to do this thing, so time to get there. And I in like kind of doing a internal check-in on what I was worried about and what felt good and what felt bad. There's parts of it that don't feel good and that I'm worried about. But then I remembered like, oh, this is my project and I just made it up and I made up the constraints. And if there's something that doesn't feel right, I can just cut it, which is somewhere in the realm of murder your darlings. Like if you have this clever idea and you're like trying to bend the whole world, the whole project, the whole story, whatever, to make one idea work, it's not worth it. Like if one idea is compromising the whole thing, you cut it. You get it out of there. So right now the idea is to do the really important thing, which is pick some nice Norwegian wallpaper. My Norwegian wallpaper program crashed. I made what was probably a tactical error yesterday. Now that I think about it. I mean, it almost certainly was. I messed up. Yeah, the wallpaper program just opens and then closes. So I was in a weird situation with licenses and custom software and was in a weird situation where I needed to test something on another computer. But that computer didn't have Windows on it and it didn't have the license on it. So I had this idea of like, oh, what if I cleverly just took the SSD out of this computer and put it into that computer and did my tests. And the tests were helpful and that was good. However, the results of that test seemed to be that my copy of Windows lost its activation, which is not good. Has really caused me some problems this morning, it turns out. Oh man, and apparently one of those problems is that I can currently not run my adorable little Windows wallpaper tool that gets wallpaper from Unsplash. The whole Microsoft Store seems, let's say, displeased with me. So we stuck with this wallpaper. This wallpaper's okay. It's okay. Lurkin, Draclin, how are you? I'm upset about this wallpaper. Okay, I know you can't see it. I don't want to look at it because it's not good yet. It's just okay. I mean, it's going to be great. Look, there's a house for all of us. Draclin gets a house. I get a house. Fumi's gets a house. Life is Yours gets a house. And we have 2 extra houses. I don't know who goes in the extra houses. Probably get a cat or something. One, a house for the cat, a house for the dog. Life is yours. Me, you, Fumis, everybody wins. I think we should go ahead with this plan. So what is... Who lives on the boat? The boat is, that's our Amazon Fresh delivery, our weekly Instacart delivery with all of our favorite snacks. Okay, I'm not crazy about this wallpaper, but like, I don't have a good, I mean, we can just go to Unsplash. The funny thing is, as I go through all this work to get, you know, wallpaper that feels good, and then I just cover it up. The wallpaper, it's just so I feel good. You know, I haven't really left this apartment much for, tomorrow I think will be close to 2 months. And so, you know, it's important to have wallpaper that soothes me. And my searches weren't going well until Life is Yours suggested using Norway. In VR, you know, I have been doing that supernatural thing. Did we talk about that? I think we talked about it somewhat. Get supernatural. This has been part of my exercise regimen where they put you in a very, very, very well-produced 360 environment captured around the world, but it also has photogrammetry, so there's depth, and it also has real-time shaders to add movement. And then they give you 2 baseball bats and a coach. And you're like floating around in beautiful places all over the world, just smashing stuff with baseball bats. It's definitely a fake Beat Saber, but I think it's better than Beat Saber in many ways. And it gets really intense, like you get real sweaty. So that's what I know. But now I just want some nice Norwegian wallpaper. Well, now everything's a disaster. We just search for Norway here. Look at all these houses. That's nice. Look at this little yellow home. Love it. Can I set as something as the wallpaper from Edge? It seems like a thing I could do, right? Oh, lovely. I'm just picking out new homes here. Can I It'd be cool if I could just do that in here. Add to a collection. I don't know what that means. I could probably do this. Or maybe I can't since I messed up my Windows activation, right? Like, maybe I can't set it as wallpaper. That'd be kind of funny. Well, we just opened it in the same application we were in. Cool. Oh, maybe that's why Splash doesn't work. Because my Windows activation is messed up. Okay, anyway, we're going to move on with our lives. So, we just got to start writing, I think. I think that's the thing to do. First, let me make sure I'm not showing secret things. And I made some weird stuff yesterday. It works pretty well, I think. Can't show it to the world yet, but... I mean, it's unfortunately, a lot of the things I do, I just am charmed with, you know, sometimes you have a smart idea about how to solve a problem, a technical problem, and then no one will care because no one will ever know how it works. So on this new thing, I think on the Residency, there's going to be like a making of screen on the back. So you can like experience the thing and then go around the back and see how the stuff works. Okay, so we need to do what? Man, I'm frustrated that I messed up this activation thing. Not cool. And I'll just admit, I bought the key on eBay from what seemed like a relatively legitimate source, but when you get a really cheap Windows key, you just don't really know, right? Okay, we are looking for this, and we're looking for this, and we're looking for this, 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 and this. Oh, shoot. You know, in Unity and in various other programs I use, especially 3D applications, the shortcut Command D or Control D is how you duplicate something. And so whenever I want to duplicate something, that's the first shortcut I hit, which is not good in Windows Explorer, because then you just delete whatever you're trying to duplicate, which is almost the opposite of what you want to do. Okay, we want this. Save changes now. Okay, these are my notes from that last official Residency stream. Concept review. And our markdown thing hopefully works. That's weird how those lines get so thick. That just happened at the beginning and the end of the... Wait, this isn't right. This isn't reading our markdown CSS file, is it? We don't need that one. Yes. Yes, okay, Dropbox, thank you. What's my problem here? So this is the, well, that's really strange because it seems like it's doing the colors correctly, or maybe the colors, no, that's the colors. Why would the colors be correct and not anything else? This definitely worked last week. Have I just destroyed everything in my whole life? Thought I said markdowns relative to the folder open. The folder we have open is the folder that has markdown CSS in it. What have I done? What have I done? But right, this is working, right? Like, I make this red. Why are all the sizes wrong? Oh, I would, if I had to guess, it would be because there's a new Visual Studio Code update that broke everything. That could also be a possibility. Markdown, CSS, okay, great. Using your own CSS. Great. Not very helpful. It seems like this is not happening, like body is not happening. So then everything that's relative to this, I think HR is not happening through also, weirdly. I mean, it must be. I think it is. Okay. What am I supposed to do? I could panic. Like, what would be the right... How would I scope the whole document, you know? Like, is there... Markdown styles. Good. Next steps. Read on to find out about CSS, CSS and less. Want to edit your CSS? Well, but that doesn't actually tell me what to edit. There was just a new update a few days ago. So I got a package delivered. Well, well, well. Markdown body? Is that what I have to do? There's all kinds of stuff for body in here. Not you. Yeah. Well, it seems like it should be body, right? Like, doesn't it really seem like the thing? I mean, this isn't really what I wanted to do here. Did I break something? This is very exciting. I can just put this stuff all over the place. Great. Great. But, I wish you'd refresh. Yeah, something like show source. No, don't do that. This is a silly predicament, I must say. A reset preview. Why, what do you think they changed to break everything? Or maybe they didn't. Maybe this is like... What happened to refresh preview? No, it really seems like it's just not reading what's in the body. That's lame and dumb. Lame and dumb, I'll say. Is there a way I can view the latest release notes? Just to see if anything's broken? I feel pretty confident that this should work just fine. Well, okay, whatever. Don't really know what to do about this, but we're just gonna deal with it for the moment, I guess. That's frustrating. And I can't zoom just that. Cool. Well, great. Okay, well, we're just gonna start moving forward, I think. Because we need to. Okay. So we're just gonna start making some steps. Interesting. I don't even think it's... Oh man, Pinterest is already killing me. I just went here and just already. Just immediately, they're showing mechanical keyboards and more cool spheres. Can't resist this stuff. Oh man, they just... Ugh. Look at that thing, it's got a little slider on it. Those dangerous paths. Look at those gems. I didn't mean to do this. Okay, closing this window. Oh, look at that one. Oh man, look at these. Look at that one. Oh my god, look at that. Oh no. Okay. We gotta just... Oh, you're killing me. People are good. People do good work. People make beautiful things. Good job, everybody. Just everybody. Good job. Whew. Yeah, we need this. Definitely need that. Okay, don't. Stop scrolling. Okay. Well, we certainly need this. Those are good. That looks like the thing that we were working on last week, but better. Looks better. These look more like actual lines rather than textures, maybe? Looks good. It's good work. I'm just proud of everybody. It's also not too far from what we're building. These really do look like actual strokes, though. And not the thing we were trying to accomplish with texture. Oof. It's good. It's all good stuff. Flip Hodas. Love it, Flip. Flip Hodas sounds like not a real name. Or like, I feel like somebody's name backwards. That's a good one. Come on, Pinterest. Ugh, also very good. Very good work. Oh, this is better. Okay, close the window. Close the window. Close it. Oh, but look at those buttons. They're real. What is that slider, though? How'd you do that? Is that just a little potentiometer over there? Or like a, no, a linear encoder? Or a linear pot? Is that the word I want? I think it's a linear pot, right? I love it. It's great work. Well done. Okay, we gotta close windows. We gotta just, all I wanted to do was get a link. It's funny because we definitely didn't start super spherical. Like early on, we're just like, yeah, geometry's cool, shapes, cool, yeah, nature, designs. And then at some point, maybe it started here. Maybe it was with the planets. But we just started getting more and more spherical. Everything started to get rounder and rounder and rounder. And now just everything's a circle. But I love it. Okay. Whew. So we have a Pinterest board. Well, that link doesn't look right either. Why are... Maybe it is right. I don't think it is. But... Okay. So we'll get out our old buddy. Azure Connect DK. I think this is the way to do it. I don't know. It's definitely more expensive than the RealSense camera, but I'm torn in my heart. But, well, don't show that. I just want to know about the device. Okay. I don't think we saw anything secret there, except that I qualify for education pricing, so how about that? But they still want to charge tax, which is not good. Oh, this is for the Children's Museum. Okay, so we want this piece of hardware, maybe. There were markdown shortcuts, but maybe not. I do this backwards. And then Kijiro's Unity library. Whatever it was called. This thing. Yep, and he's got some fancy stuff here, which is pretty dang cool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. That's like VFX. Did I just push a button to switch these? Because I didn't mean to. I don't know. I also don't know what that button was. What did I say links are? Yeah, links are supposed to be cyan. So links aren't working. It's like all CSS is, like CSS is partially working, which is not cool. Allow insecure local content. I don't know. It's frustrating. Okay. Anyway, there's a VFX Unity library. That's Kichiro's library. Library. And there's also Qmo skeletal tracking also worked with Azure Connect, right? Or do you even have to? You just use this body tracking library. Look at that body. He works out. I don't know, the sounds that are in that home gym are terrifying to me. So I don't know what to do about that. It's freaking me out.
Hey, welcome to another short able to measure your jump, which is measured centimeters replay of the whole jump. So to get up to the these multiple jumps into consideration. Alright, so if you want the different ones, and the jump analyzer sample is the one I have running here, and if you open it,
so is this easy to use in Unity? Body tracking SDK. But I mean, like, can I body track in Unity? People seem to. Unless they're trying to sell something else. Oh, that's cute. Controlling hardware with... Nice. I like that. Good work. Okay, anyway. This is our body tracking SDK set up. It doesn't have any interesting photos or images. It's just like boring. I mean, that is one nice thing with the with this approach, with using the Azure instead of the RealSense. The body tracking is provided by the vendor, which is pretty good. I don't know when this happened. When did Leap Motion become Ultra Leap? I got confused by that. So if we don't want to do the full-on business, we could do the Leap Motion controller and do hands and have like really reliable, robust skeletal tracking. These things work well, but they work for hands, you know, they're just localized, but that's maybe all we want. This is like, this is how you interact with the thing. I do like that idea of controlling physical hardware with your body. Is pretty cool. That's neat. Okay, so this looks not great when it wraps. I wish it would wrap to where the link started and not to where the line started. Otherwise, looks not good. I don't turn off word wrap. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Quit it. So. What else do we want to talk about? Like every visitor leaves a permanent so like you leave something, whatever your gestures, their body movements. So yeah, we like this interconnectedness idea. This is nice. don't like this idea of like isolated interconnectedness. Isolated is kind of an intense term at the moment, but I'll take that. Take those connotations. So our main experiments were that sphere study with the procedural animation, which was just like very initial kind of look experiment. We also did the real-time what? We did that, which is okay, but if we're going to be in the museum, we're going to build a thing. That's the biggest thing I'm stuck on, really, at the moment, is this, like, I had this goal of like, oh, it's cool, we'll make this WebGL thing, and then we'll also run it in Unity on a more powerful machine, and it'll be great, and it's going to be awesome. But the biggest thing is that I probably want to use the VFX graph to make these things look cool and beautiful and move well and all that good stuff. And the VFX graph relies on compute shaders, and Unity doesn't have WebGL compute shader support at the moment. So that's frustrating. So it may be that the remote thing gets cut, or it has to be an app and it happens later, or I don't exactly know. I don't really know what the that's the part that feels cuttable, even though it's annoying because that's what we've done much of our work on these streams so far, is facilitating the remote part of things. But like, it makes things complicated, and I don't know how much payoff there is for like the outside the museum experience. Especially because the motion fidelity we get from just swinging your phone around is not great. It would take work to try to make that into something. Versus, you know, you could kind of imagine something with the leap motion, knowing where all your fingers are and stuff, and like as you did things with different fingers could do different, like that feels like there's a lot of possibilities for something pretty cool. I think, well, maybe not, but I think so. Also, the Azure Connect stuff would just look awesome, but it'd be a little harder to make the controls happen. I could maybe, I was kind of fantasizing about a combination of the two, which might be really hard to do, but basically to have the Azure Connect getting your whole body and all the stuff your body's doing, but still use the leap motion for your hands specifically, which maybe would be cool. I don't know. I'm torn on that because, like, what's your body doing if there's other stuff going on the screen? There's definitely stuff to figure out here, for sure. But I don't think I can figure that stuff out until I get those pieces of hardware. We want like, what do we even call that? What is even happening here? That is a great question. I wish I could tell you. I am doing a residency for the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh, specifically for Museum Lab, and I'm acting as the technologist in residence. And so, I've been doing various experiments on the stream for the last few weeks on what I want to do, and right now I'm trying to like put all of these ideas together to present tomorrow, and also to do doing kind of like official residency streams, and one of them will be happening tomorrow where I'll present this content. So this is kind of like a brainstorming stream, kind of getting everything on paper, just so I can articulate better what it is I want to do and show examples and show the hardware that I want to use. So right now this is like a painful process of getting everything out of my brain and putting it on into this document. But it needs to happen. You can't just go around with all this stuff in your brain. You gotta get it out of there. How are you today? What's going on? Totally. I know. You gotta get out of here. You gotta do. I frequently try to do brain dumps. Just get stuff out of there. But this is a really big. This is a big purge because I've been thinking about this stuff for weeks. So, yeah. We want like this actually to be action. Hardware. We'll talk about our themes and goals. We'll talk about the component footprint. So it is going to be a short throw projector, or maybe 3 to 4 large displays. Let's just say 3 to 4 large displays. Back to the side. So this is going to be a real hassle because I've made a lot of physical things, not a ton of huge physical things. And when I've worked on those huge physical things, either I just like did drawings and then 2D like designs and then built from that, or had help making 3D CAD drawings, because I don't know how to do that very well. I mean, I can use 3D modeling software to just make a 3D model, but that's not great if you really want to have stuff fabricated and use proper parts and on and on and on. So I would like to learn how to do that, and I would like to try to use this project as an opportunity, but it will be kind of a steep learning curve because Autodesk Fusion is a challenging thing. I am making art, yes. So in the past, I've done a lot of work with the museum here in Pittsburgh. And the first thing I did here was for a residency 7 years ago now, when I was still in grad school. And I made this thing called Reach. And so it's kind of this invisible technology, work of art, where if you touch the moon and touch any one of the stars, it plays a sound. But by design, you can't reach all of the stars. So you have to hold somebody's hand, and if you touch the moon and hold someone's hand, they can touch a star. But you can also do it with like 20 people, and it's really funny and gets crazy, where you have like a school group who's all like grabbing arms and stuff, just touching different stuff, or touching your face or your knee or whatever, which is all very problematic now in our pandemic times. But so this is the piece I made then. Since then, I've made a fair number of components for traveling exhibits that the museum has worked on. And now I'm working again as a resident artist, but on a more tech-focused residency and in a different part of the museum. So there's the main children's museum that targets younger visitors. And this is for Museum Lab, which is got a little more of a tech focus and targets somewhat older visitors, maybe more like middle school students. So I still like this idea of this interconnectedness. I still really like this idea of invisible technology where you can't even see there's technology. But given the state of the world and the fact that most of the work I can do is like alone in a room by myself right now, probably the new one is probably going to be screen-based. And so generally what I'm imagining is that for visitors in the museum, and there may be a connected internet part too, but visitors in the museum will come up to some set of displays. There'll be some kind of device in the middle. That device might be an Azure Connect, and it might be, yes, please, doing stuff like this, where it's building interesting volumetric point clouds from your body, or it might be where you go up and there's a leap motion, and you put your hands there and you're able to sculpt something. So either you're directly manipulating something with your hands, or your whole body is involved in manipulating this thing. And then my visual reference so far is like this, where maybe you're making, you're kind of sculpting these sort of interesting, slightly organic, slightly geometric, slightly volumetric, sparkly star things. And every person who does it, like I really like this one. This is all just example reference. I didn't make this. But like every person who uses it creates a new thing. So that's one of the main themes here, is that everyone who touches this thing creates something new. And then that new thing, I really like this one. Let's save it. That thing exists forever in the system and also interacts with other people's stuff that other people have made. And so kind of everybody makes these little, whatever they are. Right now they feel like little organisms or solar systems or particles of like atomic particles. I don't know exactly what they are yet. Maybe they're a little bit of all of those things. Oh man, that was a good one too. And that is the idea so far. Is what I make considered art? That is a good question. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's considered design. In this context, it's art. I do call myself an artist. Oh man, look at all these spheres. I can't get over all these shapes. I feel like just the fact that I'm so obsessed with all these is a good sign that this is the right direction. I think. I mean, the downside to that is there's a lot of them. And so maybe that means that it's like a little too, I don't know, commodified or too easy or too available. Thank you. I think it will be fun. There's definitely some interesting limitations right now, kind of working in the way the world is, and the timeline is relatively short. But if I have to imagine, in my mind, 12, 13, 14-year-olds walking up to this big thing where they can just use their hands to like control crazy visuals, I think they'll be into it. I think. Somehow we switched from spheres to like anime. I guess it's just like a short jump to Dragon Ball. But there's a lot to do. And like my initial ideas also involved some remote idea, because I was thinking like, oh, it'd be great if at the start of this, while the museum is closed, anybody could like use their phone and make one of these things. But I'm kind of backing off of that now, because it would, the biggest problem being it would take a lot of work to make that work, and it would take a lot of work to make the in museum part work, where it would almost be to the point that it was like two separate projects, which I just don't think I have the bandwidth to do. I think the online connected thing, maybe that's another project that happens another day, because I can do this. Uh-oh, maybe I can't. Did I break it? Maybe I broke it. Okay, maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't do it this way. Or maybe it doesn't work in Safari and only works in Chrome. I don't know. No, the timestamp's broken. Interesting. What did I do? We were working on sending binary packets last week, and it is just super duper possible that I broke something in that process. Huh. Wait, how come that one got a... What? Was that this one? Could also just be that it's like really slow right now. Okay, if I do you, so that one sent data. Where's my data? This one like doesn't even send any data. What have I broken this time? Well, that's a problem because I was going to talk about this and show this tomorrow. So how did I break this? Because this seems like it's not even sending. No, wrong button. So you should request animation frame. Yeah, this was us like cramming everything into these packets. And whenever we did that, weren't we like trying to update? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's running. However, it seems like in the void, and something's happened here. Who knows what it is? Who knows what I've destroyed? Permission granted. I get valid data one time, and then something breaks. But unfortunately, it's super annoying. Did we come up with a good way to do this? Oh yeah, we can do the... Shoot. We had a way to do this. Oh, good grief. Where we could view the console. But I don't remember how. How do we do that? It's like some fake URL. This Chrome inspect. That's it. Okay, Chrome. Sometimes you just got to use Google. ://inspect. This is annoying. Not you. I ended up in the wrong browser. Okay. Go to this link. has busted. Let's go to the Chrome //inspect. I don't know if you see like error logging though, or just logs. Yeah, we see initialize and start orientation data, but I don't think you see actual errors. Man, I know Google's better. I default to DuckDuckGo, but I don't know. Most of the time for just general searches, it's okay. I even tried to use Bing for a while, but then Bing turned out to be tracking me all the time, even though I had stuff turned off. Hoogle? What's Hoogle? Oh, that's kind of cool. Do I need to use Hoogle? Wow. Will they get mad about this though? Is Google going to get mad? Okay, what could have broken here? Because we're getting start orientation data. This was all working. Seems like the timestamp is what's failing. Like we're not getting updates here. Okay, let's stick you, and let's stick it. I don't think this works. Well, I didn't really plan to debug this. But here we are. Okay, I'm getting data there. So when data happens, we set the sensor data timestamp, and then we cram some stuff in it. So that all seems fine. So is this failing for some exciting reason? Let me just Hoogle it. Okay, no, this looks like I'm getting updated data. But am I somehow not getting in here? Wait, these numbers are very big. Numbers are surprisingly big. Wait, okay, now I've lost my mind. What am I doing? Let's try this again. We want to say date time now minus the sensor data's timestamp. That shouldn't be a big number. It'd be a very small number. Shoot. Oh, we did it once. And then going forward, it seems very broken. Oh, it's not actually working. Is something breaking? Yeah, it's like it runs one time, so it seems kind of like something in here is breaking. Yeah, because then it runs permanently. So let's just turn off our binary stuff, because that was all work in progress anyway. I thought that was working though. I feel like we were doing okay on that. Like, could we break something with our data view, or who knows? Okay, but we can do without that for the moment. Okay, now on the view, am I only using, we did both actually. In fact, we just logged that, okay. Okay, it's not even this is not even that exciting. I just want it to work. So there's our sensor Sensor data gamma. We're getting all kinds of exciting data here. Yeah, because we were comparing our sensor data binary gamma to our sensor data gamma. So we got that. So why don't I have a shape? Because there's just a dumb bug. Am I not sending? Oh, is my acceleration data not right? There's only orientation in here. Okay. What could be wrong with our acceleration data? We have a start orientation data. Do we also have a start motion data? Oh, computers are cool. That says we're starting motion data. Well, now something seems truly broken. I'm not going very well, gotta say. If I would actually set up for proper device debugging, then maybe we'd be in better shape than we are. But what changed? They're like software updates are ruining my life today. Is there a Chrome update or something that broke? Because this was working 10 seconds ago. All I added was this console log. My permission state granted, but then this other stuff isn't happening. Oh, keep doing this. There's no acceleration here. I'm not getting acceleration data. Or, sorry, motion data. What's your problem? Guess we could do this whole blob. Oh, this just seems extra broken. Okay, we are getting a device motion event, that's great. And if we try to just dump that whole event, oh yeah, this stupid thing where we only get an is trusted. We don't actually get the contents. Yeah, if I actually, like... Event.acceleration is null. Wait, that's in our orientation data. I'm in the wrong place. That's my fault. I'm gonna be in here. Of course it'd be null there. Okay, but it might still be undefined here. Now it's straight up null. Not just undefined. It's null. So why would I suddenly not get device motion events? There was a I think I maybe installed an iOS update. The device motion event should have dot acceleration. I misspell it or something great like that. So this is going to break because that's a null, and so that's where things were exploding, is we just weren't getting any acceleration data. All right, let me grab another device. BRB. Wait, who's doing it? Is that you? Maybe that was old data. Oh, okay. For a second, it looked like there was a user. You know, someone in chat. You could try. It was working just fine. Like a couple days ago. But there was, I think, an iOS update did apply. This is getting data. Did this stupid iOS update break? I feel like this is all, yeah. So did iOS whatever 13.4.1 break device motion event? Let's see, did it actually install? 13.4.1. I wonder. We could try, what else is the thing that would use that? A-frame, but A-frame only uses orientation, not motion. Well, that's really great. What did I say? 13.4.1? Man, on a push button. I'm doing all that. Well, surely I'm not the only one in the world having this problem. But this is an iOS 13.4 device. No one's talking to you, Siri. And it works. And this is an iOS 13.4.1 device. And there should be nothing else that's different about it. Except it's not sending its acceleration data, which is causing our sketch to break. So did iOS 13.4.1 break? This is all just making me feel like cutting this part of the project is the right answer. Because I already don't feel great about it, but just the fact that it's breaking for no reason is like, okay, well, then we just need to say, oh, that's a null or an undefined. No, 86. You. Okay, that's this guy. Doing great. Now, can you do your thing? Yes. Lame, 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 lame. So this one can move around because we have the device motion event. This, we only have device orientation event. So it seems like maybe Apple, I don't like to jump to conclusions on stuff like this, but the fact that Apple over the last few releases of iOS has messed with device orientation a whole lot makes me very suspicious. It makes me think that this new version of iOS has just broken everything. Lame. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could do whatever. Radar, is that the right one? The Apple one? But it's just they've been getting more and more restrictive on that it actually wouldn't surprise me if they just decided to cut it. Like, if they just decided to not allow it. Because starting with iOS 12, they changed the rules about being able to access device motion. And starting with iOS 13, they made you start requesting permission. So I just kind of feel like no relevant changes in Safari release notes. Yeah, I mean, even A-Frame is saying like they kind of don't care that much because cardboard usage has declined. A regression in WebKit reported here. Patched the same day. What is magic window mode? What does that mean? What? Okay. Google, can you help me with this? What does magic window mean? Oh, does that just mean look around? I see. Magic window just means look around. So, because device orientation is working. I see. I see. I see. Oh, great. So, yeah, whenever Apple gets around to releasing an update, that'll be fixed, but it's totally broken for now. I really don't like web browsers. Okay, I feel like this is just really pushing me in the direction of not doing this mobile thing. Or if I do the mobile thing, I don't really want to release an app, but Guess I could. Woof. Okay. Well, I have to make sure my iPad doesn't update tonight. How do I turn off auto updates? Stop. Cancel tonight's install. No. Turn off. Okay. Well, that was a good diversion. That only took a long time to figure out a stupid regression in Safari because my phone updated overnight. Oh well. Okay, anyway, I was honestly, before the stream started, I was feeling myself move away from that direction anyway. So if anything, this is just like kind of a nail in the coffin of me doing this browser-based way, because there's other issues. There's some part of me that feels like I'm actually, yeah, oof. So there's really the best version of this thing that I'm thinking of and talking about is actually VR. Like a VR version of this is really probably the best version of this. But VR is not. There's some VR stuff in Museum Lab, but I think VR is really not the best. The best option. But for the stuff I'm talking about doing with Leap Motion and the stuff I'm talking about doing with Leap Motion, you know, you're standing here manipulating, looking at a screen, doing stuff with your hands. If you're in VR, you're just doing it. Give you some Vive knuckle controllers or something. We would just need the control. We don't even need the headset, I guess. If we wanted to keep it with the screen, we could have the lighthouses and the controllers, and you put the controllers on and then use them to do a thing on a screen. But that feels kind of silly. Like, you're gonna do VR, you should do VR. I mean, there is, I guess, a possibility that I make a VR version of this thing and it goes out into the world, but like the canonical, real, where it gets displayed, VR's all the rage. I've been doing, probably the bulk of my work for the last 5 years has been VR related. At least stuff I've gotten paid for. But it doesn't really feel right for this, for like a museum component. Because it's a few reasons, I guess. One, it doesn't do much for the space in the museum. It's just like over here in the corners of VR. It's not like a fixture, you know. It's not like a nice exhibit component that you can approach. Now you can certainly have it and have like screens up that showed what was going on, but it's very much like it's kind of isolating because only one person at a time would be doing it. Everybody else is just staring at them. Maybe they're watching on a screen what's happening, which still could be cool. But it's a little too much tech for me is maybe also a problem. That it starts to feel like, one of the things I kind of don't like about the way Museum Lab is looking right now is it looks a little bit like a Best Buy. There's just like wires and cables and it just looks like a Best Buy. Versus the thing I want to make would be a little bit more like a weird shrine. It would almost be like a, one version of it that I'm imagining at least is like slightly evocative of a Renaissance triptych. Well, sure, Last Judgment, that's a great one. Like, you'd come up to this thing with these three displays together, but slightly folded in the same way these triptychs used to work. and there'd be some kind of physically built fixture in the middle, and you'd wave your hands over it, and these magical things would happen. I just think that that's a little bit more. It has more of a presence, like a real world presence. And I think for this, because it's like potentially a permanent fixture at a museum, I would like to have some of that presence. And I also think it's a little more magical because plenty of people, two things. People who've never experienced VR, it's cool because it's like novel and they've never done it before, but it's very clumsy. So just to put a headset on someone who's never used VR before, they're suddenly like, they're messing with stuff. How do the buttons work? They push the wrong buttons. They're holding the controllers wrong. Like, I've done a lot of VR stuff with new VR users, especially at events. And it is always a hassle to be like, okay, new person, here's how you do this. Which takes away from the experience, I think. And then also, if you are super familiar with VR, then it's like, why'd I come to a museum to do this? It's just a headset that I put on. Versus these like, using these other things like the depth camera or the skeletal hand tracking. Those are things you don't do every day at home. Skeletal tracking very soon is probably going to be like that within the next few years, but at least for right now, it's like, there's definitely something magical to it. I hope. So, but that doesn't mean that the application couldn't use both. Like, I could build one piece of software that would work in VR and still do all the stuff and would run on Oculus Quest. I kind of like that. I mean, because I've been getting into weird, like all the time on streams, I'll make some weird virtual visualization, and the first thing I want to do is try it in VR. So, kind of into that. In fact, just saying that makes me want to try the thing I made last time in VR. Mostly just so I could see if Oculus Link would work that way with Unity. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Let's just try it. I'm gonna try it. Let's open Unity and try this thing, and hopefully it doesn't crash this stream. Which it might. I feel, man, I don't know. I could go back and forth all day, because the other thing is, like, if I could get good skeletal tracking, not the motion data tracking, but good skeletal tracking on device, which I did do some hand tracking last week or the week before, and it was okay. ARKit gives great skeletal tracking, but it's got a lot of limitations in terms of the places it will run. Did I not just open this? I thought I clicked this very button. Did I click this button? My whole computer, like, things just aren't going to work because I messed up my Windows activation. Can I not run Unity right now? That'd be a darn shame. The Unity window pops up. For some reason, Unity Hub refreshes in a weird way, and then the Unity window goes away. Man, I feel like I really messed something up with my experiments yesterday. Led to a lot of heartache, it seems. I took the SSD out of this computer and put it in another computer to test something, and like totally destroyed my Windows activation. It's pretty weird that Unity won't even run though. That's a bummer. Okay, well, everything's broken and everything's ruined, and it's all my fault. So that's good. So I'm just going to continue writing in this text editor because the text editor works. I've got that going for me. AR? Yeah, it could be. It's funny. It's funny that AR has grown to mean a lot of things. Like I've seen people now use AR, even calling projection mapping a form of augmented reality, which I get it. That works for me. I wasn't really planning to do projection mapping here per se, but I guess I could. Well, I still don't know exactly how I'm going to do the display. I mean, another option, man, I don't know. Maybe this is all wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be making something screen-based. Maybe I should just build some big thing on metal and wood and wires and electricity. But also, I'm in isolation in an apartment where it's easier to work on screen-based things because I have no access to a shop or anything like that. I think I should skip, given the uncertain state of the world, I think I should stick with the screen-based thing. Okay, so yeah, it'll be kind of AR-y, I think. But now I'm like kind of turned on by this idea of experimenting with it in VR because I think there's something cool with that. I think the mobile part, the WebGL part, I was already mad at, and I wasn't really happy with the mobile motion anyway. And so given that both of those kind of are not good, I sort of just want to cut it. I liked the democratizing of the tool in that way of like, oh, then anybody can use it and it uses movements of your body and it's cool. But it already kind of required 2 screens. If you're going to be swinging your phone around, you need to look at another screen. So I guess it could still be a phone app. Maybe use multiple fingers, like multi-touch on the sides of the screen. I could still imagine that, but I don't want to make an app. Okay. I mean, I guess I could. It's just, I got to jump through the hoops. And there's already a lot to do on this project. Maybe I could share my playlist. I don't know if I can share that. I'm really surprised that applications just straight up aren't opening, seemingly due to my broken Windows activation. That's cool. Why do I DuckDuckGo? How do you find? How is everything wrong? Maybe it's just one of those days. That's okay. I had a reasonably productive day yesterday, so if today is a day that just everything's broken, I guess that's okay. Okay, let's switch here. Evar, is that the right way to say that? How do you pronounce your screen name? I don't, just music on the, no, just, where's my, come on. I should just do it on Spotify. I don't want to pay for Spotify. Where's my playlist? Only 3 songs on it. Evar. Instead of Evar, like my slow, that sounded like Wally saying Eva. What kind of work do you do? Yeah, so these songs, I started making a playlist here. I'll say playlist in progress. C#, full stack dev. Do you ever do any Unity work? I would love to write some C# right now if I hadn't so heinously broken everything. So what do you work on? Full stack meaning full web stack? Oh, using Writer. I've seen people switching to Writer. I'm pretty pleased with VS Code at the moment for all the stuff I work on. But I know people like Writer. One of the problems with VS Code and with Visual Studio in general is that Unity, like the Unity support, interoperability support, like with the debugger and all that other stuff with VS Code breaks very frequently. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Unity ships now with a VS Code package that integrates really nicely, actually. I've been using VS Code in Unity for about around 2 years now, and mostly have been pretty pleased with it because almost everything I do now is either Unity, C#, or Unity, like C# and Unity land, or like Node, JavaScript, backendy stuff for those projects, and then some front-end webby stuff. But VS Code, at the moment, is my editor that I do everything in. It's like not perfect for any of those things, but I like it that I can just use one thing to do all those things. Although today, my Markdown stuff broke. I forgot that, yeah. So just today, there's that weird Safari regression that has broken everything. The Markdown support and the CSS Markdown support in the newest version of VS Code appears to be broken. My Windows activation is broken. Oh, there's something else that was broken. But that's enough. That's enough things to be broken, right? You can do without all the brokenness. Okay, what are we actually doing here? So, themes and goals. I like this idea of isolated interconnectedness. I like collaboration between a user and a generative system. I like the idea of artwork in which every user permanently I sure like OS level spell checking on Mac OS, but Windows doesn't do that. I have some dumb spell check plugin here, but it doesn't work very well. There's this old thing, there's this Project Kandinsky, Dave. I should reference this because it's a good one. Kandinsky. I'm having some spelling problems today. Yellow Symphony. Is that what it's called? You're killing. DuckDuckGo has not found a single thing that I searched for today. I feel like normally DuckDuckGo is okay, but like today it has not found anything. The Yellow Sound, it's called. This one? Art synthesis. Is this the right thing I'm thinking of? Is this the right one? So the one I'm thinking of is like somebody paints, or like somebody plays some music and then Kandinsky paints a painting and then somebody does a dance based on that. Maybe it's Sound of Colors. Symphony of Colors? I'm not making this up. Maybe I'm making it up. I thought it was called the Yellow Symphony. But maybe it's Yellow Sound. Yeah, this person's also talking about Yellow Sound. Well, this Russian site is not working, so. Maybe I just remember it incorrectly. Very possible. Tones and chords as he painted, Kandinsky theorized that yellow is the color of middle C. On a brassy trumpet. I've been pretty into yellow lately. Yellow has an eccentric movement. Blue a concentric movement. Okay, I'll buy all this. Sure. Okay, what is the thing I'm thinking of? Am I really thinking of Yellow Sound? Tone dramas, green sound, black and white, violet. Am I like totally misremembering this thing? Seems possible. Maybe it wasn't even Kandinsky. Pretty sure it was Kandinsky. I guess I'm very possibly just like mixing up. Yeah, it's Coldplay. No, I think it was in my mind. It was this thing where it was like somebody played music, and then somebody painted a painting inspired by that music, and then somebody did a dance inspired by the painting, and it was like removed this like transmutation. I shouldn't say bride, as a bridge. I don't know. I might just re-remember. This is from art school like more than 10 years ago, so I'm probably just misremembering it. The thing in my mind is really cool, though. I wish the CSS worked. That's really annoying. That is, like, everything's just broken. Other people have other CSS. Like other CSS files for use with Markdown, but okay, so what am I doing? Those are our themes and goals. Isolated interconnectedness, collaboration between a user and a generative system, a work in which every user permanently changes the piece by interacting with it, and physical gesture is the bridge to visual art. So that sounds good. Wait, triptych? How do you spell that? Triptych? So whatever our interactive sensor is, we do have mood, reference, playlist is in progress. We should talk about mood reference first. Because it's sort of like celestial. molecular particular. It's a weird way to use particular. I kind of like that, actually. I'll just use those. Those will be kind of our words. Celestial, molecular, particular. The Pinterest board, okay. The component footprint, freestanding and on caster to be positioned. We'll use either a short throw projector or a triptych. 3 to 4 large displays. And our sensor will be on a stand in front of the displays. Process and technical info will be displayed on a screen on the back or side. We use their body movements to control the system. Either full body gestural movements or, I really can't spell today, or intricate hand finger movements. Maybe both. I kind of like the idea of trying to put together the Leap Motion and the Azure Connect. I don't exactly know how you would stage that because the Leap Motion, I think the Leap Motion wants to look at the bottoms of your hands. So it'd be a little hard to stage, I guess, because you really wouldn't want the Leap blocking where the Azure could sense, but if you got close enough to the... Yeah, I think it's a little tricky. I mean, what would be kind of ideal is if you could have the Azure facing out like this, or the Azure Connect facing out like this, and the Leap facing out like this, and you could do your thing. Maybe you could still do your thing if you held your hands up. I don't know, but I really, you always see, oh, you know what? I bet that does work, now that I say it, because the Leap Motion can be used for VR headsets looking at the backs of your hands. What if I can look at the front of your hands? What kind of apps do you do? Like creative apps, game apps, or like banking apps, spreadsheets? Like what kind of development? Cool. A cool motorcycle. Do they have leaps on that? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh man, that's cool. Cool stuff. I don't want to buy another one of these because I have a prototype Leap Motion somewhere in a box in Portland. Okay, we want tracking. Their haptics thing is freaking cool too, but it is very costly. Like $7,000 instead of $100. Okay, I want to learn more about you. Everything I've ever seen of this, yeah, this is how it's almost always shown. And also, yeah, it's tough. Staging this, using both of these things, using both the Leap and the Azure together sounds awesome because I get like the best of both worlds. I get like cool, weird, full body depth insanity, and I get really robust finger tracking. But I don't know quite how I'd stage that. Sounds like a challenge to stage. I had more just pictures. I want to see more people using it. Whatever the clients want. Do you ever make, or do the clients ever want games? Do you ever make games? So, and whenever I've used the Leap, it has been in this way, where it's just your hands are over a thing. But I know it works in VR where it's behind your hands. So could it work in front of your hands? I feel like that would be much harder for it because it's just looking at your fingertips kind of. But I think I just have to get one and try it. I like this thing. I never used one for a real, like a rural project. Just little demos. Yeah, you wish. Why? These are achievable dreams. You could work on games. What kind of games do you want to work on? Unity's hot. I don't like the way this plugs in. I don't like the big old plug on the side. I'm not crazy about that. Guess I could try to build some kind of enclosure that would hide that. Or oh yeah, I forgot they were. It's kind of sad this never caught on. They were building a thing where it could like be integrated into laptops, but in fact, I think they made it. Yeah, they made a deal with HP, but seemingly it never. Just never caught on. Oh, it was cool. Yeah, when was this? Windows 8. That dates it a little bit. Yeah, 2013. It's too bad. Too bad, too bad, too bad. And unfortunately, I feel like this company is getting kind of like... I also hate that it's not USB-C now. Come on, we live in the future. Can't this be USB-C? Gotta be this goofy like high-speed USB-B micro. But now that so much of that stuff, you know, like the Oculus Quest now does hand tracking just with computer vision. It does a pretty good job. Some server-side projects. Draklin, I think he's lurking right now. He's probably not listening. Draklin in the chat also does, well, all kinds of stuff, but C-sharpy kinds of things, I think, in his work, and like system architecture stuff. I'm probably saying incorrectly what he does. Anyway, he loves to do weird back-endy stuff. He was using Blazor to do back-endy C-sharp stuff. I do all my backend stuff in Node.js, which so far I've survived with. Okay, we didn't really find anything that indicated if you can use this pointed at you. But we'll just do experiments, I guess. Yeah, I think it would be cool to use this with the Kinect, but hard. You kind of want the Kinect to just point it out at the world and it's just doing its thing, right? And you don't want to have something in front of it. And if you have this close enough, you've got a little bit of room there, but by then you're like so close to the Azure camera. Wait, you said some side projects, and I read that as some server-side projects. I'm sorry. You want some side projects. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Yeah, kind of. It is. It's much smaller. It's funny because it's, you know, it's like, it's the evolution of the Kinect, the original Kinect, which is now 10 years old. But in many ways, it's not that much better, which really surprises me. They're selling it for Azure integration specifically, like their cloud services integration, but it also does a fair number of local stuff, which is good. There's also the Intel RealSense camera, which is cheaper and smaller, but I just am nervous about it. The main thing that makes me leaning towards the Azure Kinect is the depth kit people who I feel like they know 3D sensing for creative work better than anybody. They are supporting the Azure Kinect and only kind of like have experimental support for you know, that other thing. RealSense camera. And if they like the Azure Connect, I feel like it's the way to go. But I have never used either. I always hated the Connect. We got a Connect really early on. I was working at a motion graphics studio at the time, and it's just such a hassle. Everything about it was a hassle. It was 10 years ago, but it like soured me on a decade of the Connect. Super cool little thing. I don't really need the fancy microphone array, but I guess I have one available if I get one of these. Okay, so visitors will use their body movements to control the system. Every visitor leaves a digital artifact that permanently changes the exhibit. Either full body gestural movements or integrate hand movement gestures. Maybe both? Should probably do a drawing of this component footprint. Freestanding on a caster to be repositioned. We'll use either short throw projector or a triptych through large displays. Interactive sensor will stand in front of the displays. Process and technical info will be displayed on a screen on the back side. We have some hardware that we're interested in using. We have some experiments that we've done so far. Which barely work. But it's okay. And then, what's that? That's just Instagram. That little shape thing. This guy. I can't, if I hit play on this, it's super loud, right? Oh, sorry. Was it super loud? What else? Concerns section. Add organic to this too. There's something about like little organisms moving around. It's a little weird. Had this idea, something in this realm percolating in my brain for a while, but now suddenly that starts to sound like really easy to look at these things and think, oh, a virus. But no, we're not. That's not what I'm trying to think of. Okay, so what's missing from this? Yeah, it kind of wants to be a VR thing, and that's not ideal. I kind of feel like the connect part is just too problematic. I think it would be in some ways like the most visually striking just because it's like, whoa, a million beautiful particles, cool. And I think I want to experiment with it, but I kind of feel like it's not exactly right for this. Delete motion seems like a thing though. But is it all too techy? Is it all too... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, we're getting to the point that we just got to start making prototypes. We got to just start, like, experimenting. What do I want to call this thing? What's this work called? A song by Quasi called Clouds that I like, but there's already a thing called Clouds. It's created by the Death Kit people, so that's not a good idea. And Clouds aren't quite right, but the lyrics to the song are pretty good. Yeah, oh man, I'm torn. 'Cause, I mean, I guess I don't have to make a decision right now, but certainly by the end of this month, I really need to know what I'm building. I mean, even then, that's a really short turnaround. I at least have to know well enough what I'm building to like design everything and order everything because, yeah, scheduling demands it. Okay, well, the next thing I need to work on is like the enclosure, and I kind of want to learn Autodesk Fusion to do that, but I kind of don't feel like Autodesk Fusion is a program you just like hop into on stream and say like, I'm going to learn Fusion today. Ivar, thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And it would be awesome if you would check in again. Have a lovely day. I might just like start playing with Fusion. This will be the worst stream of all time. I mean, I've said that a lot of times. I've made a lot of terrible streams. No question. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I sure don't know how to do this. How does it work? I don't know. Create a sketch. I did it. What does this mean? Use some sheet metal. Awesome. Whoa, what? Who alerted me? Ivar, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, yeah, hopefully as the streams go, I'll have more interesting things to look at, especially when I can actually open Unity, which I can't do at the moment. What does this even, look at this. What does this mean? I made a rectangle. Look, I did it. I did it. Cool. Wait, okay, I messed up. I made two rectangles and I didn't mean to. I thought I could just grab this thing. Is this a handle? What is this? That's a vertical constraint. Of course it is. Oh yeah, look at me go. I really think I'm not going to be able to guess my way through working in 360. Oh yeah, Fusion. Fusion 360. Yeah, thank you. I don't exactly know where to start. I delete this? Get it out of here. Sketch finished. Construct, cool. Okay, this seems futile. I think I have to watch some tutorials at least to get a start on this, because I just don't, like, I'm not going to be able to just guess my way through this. We could open up Maya, I guess, and like just make a quick model of the thing. Do I have Maya installed on this machine? I don't. Okay, yeah, I think we streamed for 2 hours. I think we're going to call it. It was a very silly stream in which everything was broken always, but that shouldn't be too surprising, right? Like, I break things all the time. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna do like the real presentation of this, where it'll be kind of the exact same content, but I'm just gonna actually talk through it like it makes sense. And that's that, I guess. Draclin, thanks for stopping by. Ivar, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the follow, and we will reconvene tomorrow to do the same thing, I guess. I'll try to get my software working by tomorrow. That'd be a good goal. Good goal. Okay. Have a lovely evening, and we'll talk soon. Bye.